Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
I wanted to talk about something. I see this a lot among women and girls. They have this thought process that somebody is going to come in and save them. And no one is coming to save you. If someone comes in and they attempt to help you in some type of way, I'm not going to say everyone is going to do this, but if someone is helping you, it's because they're benefiting from helping you. It's very rare. It's very, very rare. Like, there will be more people that will try to come in and help you, but there's a catch. Then there are people who will genuinely help you and not want anything from you. But 9 times out of 10, if a person is coming in to help you, it's because they benefit in some type of way from helping you. And it could be they want control, dictatorship over you. It's very rare that a person will actually come in and genuinely help you without wanting anything from you. So with me saying that, no one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And I notice this, like I see it a lot in my comment section. Like, there are women out here that really believe that someone is going to come in and they're going to save them. And you're going to be waiting lifetimes. Lifetimes. Like, you're going to be waiting lifetimes for someone to come in and change your life and change it in the way that you want it to be changed. You're going to be waiting a lifetime. It's always, honestly, when I realized this, I had to be 19 years old. I had to be 19 when I realized, like, damn, nobody's coming to save me. And so, because I realized, like, nobody was coming to save me, I got off my ass. And I've been off my ass ever since, because I realized that the life that I want, I have to create it. I realized the things I want, the things I desire, I have to go get it. And if I'm not out getting it, if I'm not out creating it, I will never have it. And it's just that simple. Like, no one is going to come in and give me these things and do these things from a genuine place. There may be some men or people out here that may want to offer it to me, but I know it comes with a catch. I know it comes with, well, what do I get out of it? And when you go and you get something for yourself, you don't have to worry about dividing it up with someone, splitting it 3 ways, 2 ways, or anything like that. When you go and you create it yourself, it's yours. Like, no one can take it from you. No one can steal it from you. No one has the rights to it. Like, it's you. Another thing that I notice is a lot of men who like to save women from the pits of hell typically like to do it just to be able to say, I made you. You would be nothing without me. And that's scary to think that a person feels entitled to you in that way. It's scary because they feel like they made you, they can control you, they own you, basically. So it's a dangerous game for women to even play that, unless you're playing into some type of fantasy and you get something out of it. But outside of the fantasy and you getting something out of it, it's a dangerous game to actually want a man to make you to somewhat feel like they own you. Let me read this. If someone says, come save me, they're saying, come and take the load off. I mean, I'm not, listen, when I say no one is coming to save you, I'm not saying that you can't get help along the way. We're not pushing that strong, independent, I don't need a man bullshit. We don't push that. We don't push that. I don't push that. I don't push that at all. Like, sometimes, what I'm saying is sometimes you have to save yourself to even put yourself in a position to get proper help, opportunities, and assistance. You still have to save yourself. But no, this come save me, take the load off, that's a totally different conversation. We're not talking about the same thing. That's way out of context. I'm saying that there are some women that feel like a man is going to come in with a cape on a helicopter and just take them from all of their problems and all of their issues. It's not real. It does not exist. save you from depression, save you from suicidal thoughts, save you from issues that you have that maybe you experienced when you were younger. You have to save yourself when it comes to those things. You do put yourself in a very vulnerable situation when you need a man to save you. You do. Because now you're on his time, you're on his money, you're on his resources. You have to do what he says. And a lot of women, I feel like a lot of women are kind of naive about that, because what do you think he's going to get out of it? Being able to dictate what you do and how you do it. So you got to be careful with that. To me, I feel like the best situation a woman could ever be in is to keep herself while being kept. That's the best situation, where you have your money but you spending his. That's the best situation a woman in modern times could ever have. But to just be out here flat broke without a man, that's insane. To be out here and you don't have anything without a man, that's a dangerous game. I feel like the best situation to be in is to be a kept woman while being kept by a man. I'm just saying. The abundance is overflowing. Yeah, women definitely have to do for themselves. You have to always do for yourself first. That's for sure. You always have to do for yourself first. And you know what I found interesting about being a woman is when you do for yourself first, so many more people are willing to help. I never thought about that. Like the whole time I was 19 and I was like, oh, somebody's coming to save me. They weren't. You know what's crazy? They never did. But now that I've been consistent with, helping myself, so many people want to help me. I never could have guessed that. It's like people, I don't know, they see you doing something and they like what you're doing. They're invested in what you're doing. And all of a sudden they want to help. But for me to even put myself in this position to get so many offers, I had to help myself. I had to put myself in a position to receive these opportunities. And to be honest, I think I want to say, I'm not going to say all, but I feel like I have more genuine offers when it comes to people wanting to help me compared to before. I think I would have had people want to help, but it would have been more manipulative or deceiving and things like that. So what I'm saying is, when you decide to help yourself, you inspire others to want to help you. Because like I said, they may see what you're doing. They may see, thank you, that is so sweet. They may see what you're doing. They may be inspired by what you're doing. They may just grow an interest in what you're doing. And so now it's like, oh, I want to help her. Like, I want to help her get to this or get to that. And maybe they even see your potential. I'm not really sure. But they want to help. And I do feel like it's way more genuine. Maybe because they've been seeing you do it for a while and they're invested in your story and everything like that. Like, they may just be invested in you as a person too. Like, that's a thing too. So when women get in the habit of helping themselves first, you will influence those around you. You will inspire those around you to want to help you as well. But if you're just going to be waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting on somebody to come and help you, you're going to be waiting forever. And then one thing that I also noticed is, like, no one can ever help you in the way that you help yourself, because you know what you like, you know how you like things, you know how you want things, you know how you desire things, you know what your vision looks like up here. For other people to help you with your vision, you have to explain it to them, but they're never going to know what your vision truly looks like in here more than you will. So it's best that you kind of lay that foundation for yourself, because if you don't, you're going to have to change what that vision looks like. You're going to have to change what that dream looks like a little bit to go along with what they want to offer you or what they can offer you. When if you do it yourself first, you can create that photo, you can create that vision, you create that picture in your mind and bring it to light, where people will see your vision and they just want to add to it, or they want to improve it, or they want to help you with the vision that you've already created for yourself. So it's not that you can't ask for help, you can't get help from people, but it's best that you lay that foundation for yourself first. It really is. When you have to rely on people, it's a mess. It reminds me of I'll never forget when I was broke and I couldn't afford movers and I had to rely on family and friends. Girl, I hated that. 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 Because when you have to rely on your family and friends to help you move, you basically on daytime. Because it's like, well, I could do it when I get off, or I could do it on this day, but I can't do it on this day. It's like you gotta wait on them on everything when you just want to get it done and get it done at this time, so you can be in your new place. Because maybe you excited about being in your new place, or whatever. You just want to get out of this apartment, and it's like, well, I can't be there on Tuesday. I could come by on Thursday. It's like that. Who wants to deal with that? And then not only that, I don't know about y'all, but my family a little bit different. They so overbearing sometimes. And so they want to, not only are they helping me move, but they want to move me in the way that they want to move me. Like, so that means they want to do it in their way, not the way that I ask. So I'm not even getting the professional moving experience. I hate that. I hate that. I'm still trying to create my vision, and that's the thing. That's the fun part about creating your vision. Because people ask me, what is a woman's purpose? A woman's purpose is to create. That is your purpose here. Now, how you decide to create, that's up to you. How you decide to create is up to you. You can create a family. You can create a child. You can create a job. You can create a business. You can create a thought process. You can create influence. You can create art. You can create a vision, literally, and bring it to light. You can create a new world if you wanted to, because we run the culture as women. So you can create a new world if you wanted to. A woman's purpose is to create. How you choose to create, that's completely up to you. And this includes women who can't have children. This includes women that have fertility issues and things like that, because you don't have to just be the type of woman that creates life. There are so many things that you can create in this world, in this lifetime. So a woman's purpose is to create. And a lot of men ask that question like, you know, what's the benefit of having a woman? Well, the benefit of having a good woman that understands her purpose, understands her worth, is she can create, which means if you were to bring her into your life, she's an asset to you, because she will be able to multiply the things that you already have, because as a woman, you are a creator. How you decide to create, that's up to you. And then another thing is you should be picky about who you decide to create with. And it could be children, but it could also be other things outside of that. Because like I said, a woman's purpose is to create. You are the creator. Now, do they want us to, the patriarchy that we live in, do they want us to know that? Hell no, they don't. They don't want us to know that. Out of your mind. They do not want women to know that their purpose here is to create. They want you to think your only purpose is to create a home with children and be there for their beck and call, because it benefits men, right? For you to create in that way. But honestly, you can create in any area that you really want to create in. It doesn't have to be a man, family, and kids. It could be whatever you want it to be. It could be that, though, if that's what you want. So a woman's purpose is to create, but how you choose to go about what you decide to create in your lifetime, that's on you. That is on you. I'm not here to convince you what that looks like. So you get to decide. And I think that's the best part. I still haven't seen the Barbie movie. I just saw a clip on TikTok. But yeah, a woman's purpose is to create. And like I said, you could do so much with that. You could do so much with that. And if you look in history, if you look at women's history, that's all women did was create. They were the creators. That's all they did was create. They created life. They created memories. You can even be a woman that just simply creates memories. You can create a family. Your family doesn't have to be your birth family. Like, you can go out here and create a new family outside of the family that you already have. Because as a woman, you are a creator. That's your purpose. And you have, if you kind of tap out of the patriarchy for a sec, you have the freedom to do that. Oh, it speaks on women's true purpose? The process of changing your life is very hard. I'm not here to say it's easy. I'm not. But I will say it's rewarding. It's very rewarding. It is. If it was not worth it, I would not be on here talking to y'all like this. I'd be like, girl, you might as well go do something else. It's not worth it. But no, it is. It actually is. It actually is, because when you start doing for yourself, you have internal happiness. That means you don't need people around you for the happiness that you have. It's internal. You have love too. You have internal love. This love is something, because I say things like, self-love is something that you grow into. It is. It's something that you grow into because you go through things, you overcome things, you create new things, and you move forward and you start to grow love for yourself that not many will truly understand, because you've been through a lot of shit. You've overcame a lot of shit. You've changed your life around. You used to be this way and now you're this way. You've transformed yourself. So you're going to grow a level of self-love that not a lot of people will understand. A lot of people will look at you and think that you're high and mighty. A lot of people will look at you and think you're holier than thou. A lot of people will look at you and think that you look down on others. And it's not that. It's just you've been through some real shit. You've had some dark times. You've been at rock bottom. You've picked yourself up over and over and over again. And with you doing that, how could you not love yourself? How could you not think highly of yourself? How could you not have high standards? How could you not grow a level of love that so many people have an issue with when you've gone through a lot? So a lot of people are going to take issue with that, but it's truly not for them to understand because they weren't there. And that's the thing. People weren't there when you were going through what you were going through. People are not there for you right now when you're going through what you're going through. Because sometimes our battles are internal. They're not always meant for everybody to know about. Sometimes they're battles that we deal with within ourselves. But when you overcome those internal battles, you grow more in love with yourself. You have the memories, you have the discipline, you have the sacrifice, you have all of those things. And so you love yourself because of that. Not everybody's going to understand. I think the girls or the women or people who go through like a similar journey understand they grew into loving themselves more and more and more and more. I mean, when you have to walk away from people, places, and things because they don't know how to treat you right, they don't know how to respect you, when you have to set boundaries with people who try to disrespect you, I mean, eventually, like, you grow a level of love for yourself that not many will ever be able to understand. And you did those things out of love for yourself. And the fact that you were successful with it, you stood 10 toes on it. How could you not love yourself? How could you not think highly of yourself? How could you not have high standards for yourself when you were able to accomplish those things? And they were personal. They may have been internal. It may have been something that you had to stand on out of self-respect. And so, of course, you're going to grow this endless amount of love for yourself because you overcame those things. And you won those battles that no one knows about. No one knows about. Doing for yourself can help with your insecurities. That is so true. You start to realize how capable you are. That is so true. I say to myself every day, I am loved because I am loved. I give love. I love that too. Yes, you can create peace in your life. That's my favorite. You want to know how I created peace in my life? This is the best thing you could ever do in your life. That's why I say a woman's purpose is creator. That is your purpose. So when I started to realize this is my purpose, this is my power, right? I started looking at life a little bit different. I stopped feeling like, oh my God, I have to be the victim to everything. Am I the victim when it comes to some things? Oh, of course. Because I'm not taking accountability for some shit that I didn't ask. You know what I mean? But I started looking at it a little different. Like, I can't always be the victim in every situation because I have the power to create a new reality. I have the power to create a new life. I have the power to create a new friend group. I have the power to create a new family if I need to. I have the power to create whatever the hell I want. So I'm like, I can't just sit here and have this pity party and be the victim every single time, even though there are some times where I'm like, no, you definitely were the victim in this situation. You didn't deserve that, right? But then sometimes I'm just like, I'm not about to sit here and pity for myself. Like, I'm about to go do something about it. When you go do something about it, you start to realize the power that you have within yourself. And you're like, damn, I just created a whole new life. Just like that. And it took me realizing, let's not have a pity party. Let's actually go do something about it. Let's actually go make the changes that we want to make so that we can be in a better place, in a better position. Because sitting in pity, you don't get shit from that. Changing your life, there's so many rewards with that. You get peace, you get happiness, you feel whole. I think you don't feel lost. I remember when I used to feel lost. That is the worst feeling ever, is when you feel lost. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know where you're headed, where you're going. You're just lost. And you're just trying to figure it out. And it's just this thing where it's like, okay, but what do I need to do? What do I need to do? You need to start creating. Yes, it is just that you need to start creating. And it's that simple. You need to start creating. You're like, I'm lost. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know. It's because you need to start creating. You need to start creating. And then once you start creating, your purpose will be like, oh my God, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to do. It will pop up just like that. But you got to start creating. You got to start discovering. And then you will fall into it. It's not something that just pops up like that. Like, no, you just got to start creating. And then once you start creating, it will just happen. It will just start to happen. How do you create though? You go off of what you want. You go off of what you desire. You go off of what you want. You go off of what you desire. And I know it sounds like simple. Technically it is, but it's scary because when you create, it's like grabbing a paintbrush. You don't have any idea what you're about to do. You're just grabbing the paintbrush. You're looking at all the colors and you're like, what color should I do? What is my theme? Like, what am I making? That's the exciting part. You don't know. You just start grabbing colors. You just start dipping the brush in and you just start going at it. That's how you create. That's it. There's no direction. There's no guide. That's part of being a woman and having true liberation. You get to pick, you get to choose. And if you want to change it up later, that's the fun part about painting and creating, is you can change it later. But right now, this is what we're doing. And then if you get to a certain point, you're like, I'm not really liking this. You can go and you can tweak it a little bit. You can change it a little bit. And if you want to start over, you can start over. You can start over if you want to do that. This don't have no age limit to it. It doesn't have an age limit to it. So if you feel like you want to start over, you can start over. Okay? You can start over. Can you give examples of loving yourself? Honestly, I feel like loving yourself really starts with you wanting the best for yourself. Because I don't know a person that doesn't love themselves, that doesn't want the best for yourself. Okay? So what does the best look like? I mean, it could be anything. It could be the simplest thing. Like, you want the best treatment. You want the best life. You want the best outcomes. But why? Well, you feel like you deserve it. But why do you feel like you deserve it? Because you love yourself, right? You see value in yourself. You know what you offer, but you also know your flaws too. You're not afraid of your flaws. You actually embrace them. So loving yourself is starting with wanting the best. Even if you fall short, that's the thing with self-love, is you give yourself grace, because even though you want the best for yourself, you don't always make the best decisions and choices, but you still want the best though for yourself. You don't want less than that, even when you fall short, because that's part of being a flawed person. Is I love the flaws as well. I love the shortcomings. I love those things. With me understanding that I love the shortcomings and all of that, I still understand that consequences may come with those shortcomings, but I still love that part of myself though. But I still want the best for myself because I love myself. So those are examples of loving yourself. Again, Yoni, I really don't understand that people think that you can't change your body, but at the same time love yourself. The biggest accountability is self-accountability. Yeah, I think so. I think, okay, so I can see where people are coming from. Like, sometimes you can go about it in a toxic way, right? Like, some people go about changing themselves in a toxic way, and some people go about changing themselves in a healthy way. So again, like, I tell people all the time that when it comes to something being bad, it really comes down to your intentions. People think like you do something and it automatically makes you a bad person. Like, prime example is this judgment thing on my platform right now. Women will hang themselves dry for, I don't want to be judgmental. Why not? Like, for you to live in this world, you need to be judgmental. You need to make good judgment. Now, how you decide to judge determines if it's bad or not. Okay, so let me give you two examples. Let's start with good judgment. Good judgment is you're judging a person for your protection. You're assessing a person for your protection. You're assessing a situation. You're judging a situation for your protection. You judge because you want the best for yourself, which was part of the conversation we were having earlier about self-love. You judge people because you want the best for yourself. Now, back to the intentions part. If you start to judge people because you want to feel better, you start to judge people to look down on people, you judge people to make fun of them, you judge people to put them down, that's bad judgment, because you're doing it from an insecure place or ego place. You're doing it from a place that's very shallow. But if you're judging someone to protect yourself because you feel like you deserve the best out of life, you're judging someone because you're trying to decide, is this a good decision for me? Is this the right path for me? Is this where I need to go? Is this where I need to be at? That's good judgment. That's discernment. So like, I've seen so many women, and I used to be like this, naive, gullible, just being honest, where I'm like, oh, I don't want to be judgmental. I don't want to be judgmental. I don't want to be judgmental. And that's how you end up in the worst situations with people, places, and things. You end up in relationships that are toxic. You end up in friendships that are one-sided because you don't want to be judgmental. And by you not wanting to be, quote unquote, judgmental, you find yourself in situations you don't even deserve to be in, right? Because part of being judgmental is because you love yourself. So you're assessing people, places, and things to ensure it's safe, it's proper for you and what you want and what you desire. But that's it. It doesn't go any farther than that. So again, people get hung up on words and they don't focus on the intentions behind what the word is or what it means. And you really should focus more on the intent. So a prime example, unaliving someone is murder, right? But what if it's self-defense? Is it seen the same? Is it perceived the same? No, it's seen as self-defense. It's still murder, but it's seen as self-defense. So like, when we have these conversations, like, this is where I'm coming from. But it's like, people want me to explain the nuances of things when it comes to these type of topics and subjects. And I just feel like the nuances that people want me to explain, it's common sense to me. Like, and I feel like, no, I feel like y'all smarter than this, right? Like, I feel like y'all are way smarter than that, right? I don't have to explain the nuances when it comes to judgment, right? Or maybe I should. Maybe I should start to explain that type of stuff. But like you were saying, with the whole changing your body, it goes back to the intent, right? Some people do it with great intentions. Some people do it with negative intentions, where they want to change themselves, and it's not self-love, it's more self-hate. And then there are some people that want to change themselves for the better because they love themselves and they feel like by making these changes, they will receive the best. They will feel the best, So again, it just comes back to the intentions. And this is why, instead of you judging just the outer stuff, right? You should judge the outer stuff, because the outer stuff can be a red flag. But you should also judge the inner as well and look at a person's intentions before you just automatically think you know them. So it is levels to judgment, right? But if you see a person and you judge their outer appearance and you clearly see there's a red flag, it's a red flag. If you bypass that red flag, you may end up in a relationship with a toxic man, a deadbeat. You may end up in a relationship with a man that is narcissistic. I know that's what happened to me, not wanting to be judgmental. I ended up in a relationship with a narcissist. I will never be that girl ever again. You only got to teach me one time. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I overlooked because I wasn't trying to be judgmental. And that was naive. That was naive of me to do that. That was very naive. And if I could go back and do it again, oh my God, I would have been out of there. Like, I would have been out of there. But because I wasn't trying to be judgmental, I ended up in a narcissistic relationship. Wasted, I want to say, 3 years of my life that I can't get back. Can't get it back. So these are the nuances that I feel like I shouldn't have to say, but I guess I got to start saying it, because if listen, we talking about your life. We talking about your life. We're not talking about you judging somebody because of what they got on, judging somebody because how they choose to live their life. We're talking about your life. If you're not using judgment, what are you using? What are you out here using? How else do you assess a person, a situation, or a thing? How else are you out here vetting? Do you know what vetting is? Vetting is judging. Judging what a person says, judging what a person does, judging if a person's behavior is consistent. That's what vetting is. So ladies, y'all gotta get off of this. I don't want to be judgmental. You don't want to be a mean girl. Completely understand. You don't want to be a mean spirit. Completely understand. But listen, separate the two. We're talking about your life. We're talking about you assessing situations, people in places and things for your safety, for you to get a certain outcome. It's life or death out here. Like, it can save your life if you're not out here judging a situation from a place of caution, vetting, discernment, like all of those things. So y'all gotta let that go. And the thing that kills me about this is men are judging the hell out of you. Like, I know men that will judge you based off of how many kids you have, how many kids you don't have, if you're a virgin or not, if you've been married before, if you haven't been married by a certain age. Oh my God. Or what else? If you had an abortion versus if you haven't had an abortion. Men are judging the hell out of you about every little thing. They will judge you if your nails are not done or if you have chipped fingernail polish. They judging the hell out of you. They judging you if you have on weave versus if you wearing your natural hair. If your hair look good or if it don't. They judging, like, men judge the hell out of you. So I don't understand, why are we so hesitant about that? I don't get that. Men will actually judge where you live. They judge the car that you drive. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And yes, they're creating ideas about you. Like I think they say girls who drive Nissans, they crazy. And I'm like they got an attitude problem. They got a temper problem. Come on, ladies. For real. Like, come on now. They do. I've seen those videos. I've seen them. They're on TikTok. Okay, stereotypes. How I don't know if it's not called stereotypes, but the different type of women that drive these cars or something like that. Just go look it up on TikTok. Yes, but it is a woman's downfall when we feel like, oh, we shouldn't be judgmental. Yeah, we should. Yeah. Now, how you decide to be judgmental, that determines if you're a bad person, in my opinion. Because if you sit over here judging a person because they don't have designer on, or you sit over here judging a person because they don't have the newest car, you sit over here judging a person because of their hairstyle choice. Okay, like, I see where y'all coming from. But we're talking about if you feel like this is a proper fit for you, because this goes back to self-love. If this is a proper fit for you, how are you going to know if it's a proper fit for you when you didn't judge the situation? How do you know it's the best outcome for you? It's the best treatment for you if you don't judge the situation? You have to. Yes, the Nissan Altima. It's a running joke that they have created for women. The Nissan Altima, the Kia. Like, it's a running joke about how those girls that drive those cars, they have like tempers or just basically like issues. Okay? It's a mess. So that's what I'm saying. Like, come on now. Back in the day, women would selective breed. This is nothing. Women were out here selective. They were doing this thing where they would breed selectively. Not every man would get a child because it's like, they didn't meet the mark, They didn't meet the mark. So I don't know. We need to bring that back. Selective breeding, I'm for that. I'm for that. And that may include women going to the chop shop. A lot of people not gonna like that, but it may because think about it. If the man that you're dealing with has behavioral problems, most likely your child is gonna have behavioral problems. And listen, sis, I'm all for, accidents happen. Okay, I am. I get some women are actually bamboozled. Like, he didn't show any of these signs. He just switched up on you, right? There were no red flags in the beginning, right? but you started to notice he has like behavioral issues and shit like that, do you think that's a man you should breed with? Probably not, because your kids are probably going to have those same emotional issues or tempers or stuff like that. That's why you should definitely be into selective breeding.